So let's start with a simple question. Do you need an SPCC plan at your facility, or do you need a Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan? Maybe you've heard of both terms and you're just trying to figure out what any of this actually means so you can stay out of trouble. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. We get asked about this all the time. So if you're confused about the difference or you're not sure what applies to your facility, you're in the right place. Hey there, this is Dennis Ruhlin from Resource Management Associates, your environmental experts. And before we get into it, just know that we've been helping companies with both SPCC and stormwater compliance since 1992 all across the United States. So if you need a hand with either of those things, reach out. We'll see if we can give you some help. All right, let's jump back into it. First off, what is an SPCC plan? Well, SPCC stands for Spill Prevention Control and Countermeasure. This is a federally required plan, and it applies if you have enough oil stored at your facility. The key number to remember is 1320. If you're above 1,320 gallons of oil in above ground storage tanks, then you need an SPCC plan. That includes anything like hydraulic oil, generator fuel, diesel, gasoline, used cooking oil. Doesn't matter, it all counts. If you hit that threshold, you need an SPCC plan. It's that simple. It's focused on preventing oil spills, controlling them if they happen, and the countermeasures that you'll employ in a response situation. That's it. It's very specific. It's all about oil with SPCC plans. Now, what is a Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan? A Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan, or SWPPP, or SPPP, SWP3, a PPC plan in Pennsylvania, a DCP plan in the state of New Jersey, or whatever they call it in your place, is a completely different animal. This is not based on how much oil you store. Instead, it's based on whether your facility is regulated under an applicable stormwater permit. So typically, if you're an industrial facility and you have materials or operations exposed to rain and precipitation, there's a good chance that your facility will need to seek coverage under an industry or general stormwater permit. And if you have that permit, one of those requirements is having a document, which is almost always called a SWP. Now here's a big difference. SWP doesn't just look at oil. It looks at everything that could potentially contaminate stormwater. And that could be things like chemicals, dust and debris, material stockpiles, waste storage consideration, process-related residues, etc. Basically, if it rains and if it hits it and it could be carried off-site, then it should be a part of your SWP. So what's the actual difference between the two? And this is where a lot of people get tripped up. An SPCC plan is focused just on oil spills, where a SWP is focused on stormwater runoff. And yeah, oil spills can impact stormwater runoff, but it looks at a lot of other things as well. One is federal, SPCC, and is pretty consistent everywhere. The other is state-driven and can look a little different depending on where you're located. So even though they sound similar, they are solving two completely different problems. You might need one, you might need the other. You might need them both, or you might need neither. But the only way to know for sure is to look at your oil storage, your operations, and your regulatory requirements all together. So what should you do next? Honestly, if you already have an SPCC plan, an NPDES stormwater permit, or a SWP in place, and you're not really sure where you stand, you've got a few easy paths to move forward. Our Learning Center is a great place to start if you want to get a better handle on the basics or fill in some gaps across any of these programs. If you're trying to get a sense on what updates or new plans might cost, you can use our pricing calculator to get a realistic range based on your operation. But if you're not even sure what you need or whether everything you have is still up to date, that's completely normal. And that's usually where it makes the most sense to just reach out and talk it through. Because whether it's SPCC, stormwater permits, or your SWP, ignoring it doesn't make it go away. It just gives it time to become a much bigger compliance problem later down the road.